what do you think is, like this morning we had that conference and we had some members of the private sector and then we had members of academia. What's your observations on how the two operate or the differences between the two? You're starting to laugh. Yeah,
oil and water.
Right?
The approaches are different, the mindset's different. Just the whole way to think about a project is completely ass backward. And the entrepreneur thinks, how quickly can I make this happen? How efficient can I make it? And first and foremost, what's the potential ROI? The academics are, okay, let's sit back and take a deep breath and figure out what we need to do to plan a strategy and commission a study and who are we going to apply for with our hands out to get free money from the government to do a study, and that'll take about a year, and then after that's done, we can then go back to the government for some money to help fund the project, or to commission a report for a pilot, or it's like, yeah. In the meantime, we'll either have a plant up and built, or we'll have realized within a few months that it's just not feasible at this time. We'll be on to something else.
And this is why it bothers me when I see academia, especially in the waste management sector, where I see academia, hailed as the way to go. And academics are saying that they're the ones that should be listened to, the talking heads, and they're the least efficient people to actually come up with a solution, because half of it's drunk on virtue signaling and not actual feasibility. ROI is not built into their thinking. So then again, it's the government handouts that the government pay for the plant.
In our situation, we've got the double-barreled challenge of not only dealing with, very well-meaning academics, but academics in the, green and renewable space. So when you start talking about return on investment, profits, and in the case today, the possibility of conversion of a sort of biomass into a renewable diesel product, that's sort of a doubling the challenge of profit is bad in their mind.
Right.
Tend to be a little more socialist in their thinking, as opposed to you can do a triple bottom line approach. You can be good to your community and good to the environment and still be profitable. Find that balance. But if the profit's not there, the project's not there.
Right.
It's just being a little more pragmatic, a little more practical, I think. And on the environmental side, is renewable diesel awesome for the environment? No. Is it better than traditional hydrocarbon diesel pumped out of the ground somewhere? Can't compare the two. The carbon footprint's lower, the emissions are lower, the everything. You don't have the political side to deal with. We're talking about Middle East oil and things like that. So it's a step in a positive direction, environmentally speaking.
Well, so you brought up Middle Eastern oil. I mean, that was the argument I was having with her when she was complaining about tar sands and pipelines, and I'm like, so in your mind, it's more ethical to keep buying Saudi oil with all of their ethical issues than it is to actually develop our own resources. And what bothers me is that fossil fuel industries in North America are one of the most sustainable. The way Canadians process fossil fuels is possibly the most sustainable in the world. I'm maybe exaggerating a little bit, but not by much. And they're the ones that are actually developing other technologies like water filtration systems, right? Which you've done some work in. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, they've got a ways to go. They're making some efforts. It's kind of a chicken or egg thing. If you don't have business and cash flow, it's hard to peel off extra money for R&D for some of that. But absolutely, I mean, for me, 100%, I'd rather be putting money back into the country, developing our own oil projects, rather than, it could be Alberta, it could be offshore Nova Scotia and Newfoundland have massive reserves, rather than just pull it all out of the Middle East. Europe has the same challenge dealing with natural gas and whatnot from Russia.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you should consider not just environmental impacts, but also social impacts. Where do those profits go? What are they funding?
That's right.